This is a tutorial on how to use the Zoom meeting application. This tutorial is being done on an iPad. Your view will look slightly different if you're using Zoom on a laptop or desktop computer. By now you should have already downloaded the Zoom app or the software to your computer. Prior to your first meeting, you're going to want to take some time to get Zoom set up. The very first time you log in, it's going to ask you a few questions, and you don't want to wait until just before the meeting to do this. You will access the meeting through the link in iTunes U. When you open Zoom for the first time, as I said, it's going to ask you some questions. When you first join the meeting, it's going to ask you for your name. Mine defaulted to Matthew's iPad, so I'm just going to go ahead and change that. Click Continue. Now, as I said, Zoom's going to ask you for access to a few things the very first time you log in. It won't do this every time. It's going to ask for access to your camera. You will click OK. When you log into a meeting, you're going to click Join with Video. For the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to click Join without video. Now Zoom is going to ask for permission to use your microphone. You will click OK, and then it will ask if you want notifications, and you can make your selection. At the start of each meeting, it will ask how you want to join the audio. Go ahead and click Call using Internet Audio. This will log you directly into the meeting's audio right through your iPad. Now, this is the basic interface when you join a meeting. As you can see, the host is in the center of the meeting, and my box is down in the lower right-hand corner. If I had my video on, you would see my face there. If I tap the iPad screen, it's going to bring up a few other options. It goes away really fast, so I'll be tapping it a lot throughout this tutorial. The very first thing I'm going to do is in the upper right-hand corner, I'm going to click Mute. That is good meeting etiquette. As soon as you join a meeting, you mute your audio, just so that if a dog barks or a kid happens to run into the room unexpectedly, everybody on the meeting doesn't get that. There can also be some feedback if your audio is on. So you want to make sure that you pretty much immediately click Mute, and then you can select Unmute if you are called upon to answer a question. Most of the time, you'll keep it muted. The second thing you're going to do as the meeting gets started is in the upper left-hand corner, you're going to click Switch to Gallery View. Gallery View allows you to see all the participants at once and just provides for better interaction amongst the participants. Now you can see in this meeting there are only 2 participants. In your meetings there will be many more. Gallery View allows you to see up to 25 participants per screen at one time. So if there are more than 25 participants, you may need to scroll back and forth between screens in order to see everybody. Most of your functionality is in the upper right-hand corner. So again, if I tap on the screen, it brings that up. We've already talked about the mute and unmute button. Next is the start and stop video button. If you accidentally logged in and forgot to click start with video, you can go ahead and click that start video button and it will bring the video up. Again, for this tutorial, we're just going to have it without video. Next is the share content button. You probably won't need to worry about this a lot, but just in case, you can see that if you tap it, it brings up some options of things that you can share. Share your screen, share photos, something from iCloud Drive, etc. If you share your screen, you should note that it literally shares exactly what's on your entire screen to all the participants on the meeting. The next box over is the participants box, and this is the one you'll probably use the most. So if you click on that, the first view you're going to get is a list of all the participants in the meeting. And if there are many, you may need to scroll through the list. You can see it provides you with a few different options. if I click on my name, it's going to give me an option to raise my hand. Now this is important if you have a question. Again, you'll be muted, so if you have a question, one way that you can indicate that to your instructor is to click raise hand. And as you can see, a little raise hand icon goes up and the instructor also gets an alert. It shows that you have a question. When you're all done, just click lower hand and that goes away. If I tap my name again, other options I get are to unmute audio. So if you are asked to answer a question, you can click unmute audio through this area as well, or using the unmute audio button on the top of the screen. The other thing I can do in this area is rename myself. So let's say I made a typo when I was first entering my name or something like that. I can go ahead and rename myself and click done. In the lower left-hand corner of this box is the chat button. So if you press that, it opens up this dialog box. And this is an area where you can ask a question, or the instructor may have you answer a question here without having to have everybody speak it out all at once, which can get confusing. So what you will do is click where it says tap here to chat. You want to make sure it's set to everyone unless otherwise instructed, and just type in whatever it is you want to say and click send, and everybody can see that, and the instructor also gets a notification that that you've done that. And you can go ahead and click close. The last button on the upper right is more. Some things in here that you aren't going to need to worry about. Virtual background, don't worry about it. This gives you another spot to raise and lower your hand. You don't need to worry about hide my video in gallery view, because again, we want everybody to be able to see each other and interact. And disconnect audio, you don't need to worry about that either. That's all there is to it. It's a very simple interface to use. The important thing to remember is to be in gallery view when you start, and to make sure that your audio is muted unless otherwise requested by your instructor. When the meeting's over, the instructor may end the meeting, which automatically closes the meeting for everybody, or in the upper left-hand corner, you can click Leave Meeting, confirm that, and the meeting will end. That's all there is to it. Thanks.